Okay, hey, cool. I think I am getting up and running right now. I will check it out. Let's check it out on my stream on my end. This is my first time doing a stream like anything like this, so we will check it out. Weird. Oh, I know why. Let's go over to YouTube. I'm going to plop myself down in my own stream just to make sure that quality is okay. I hope my audio is okay. Otherwise, let's start doing some math homework. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Oh, wrong button again. Okay, I am ready to go. This is fun. You know, if I get people in here actually asking me their homework problems, it will truly make my day. It will absolutely make my day. So, all right, where is my paint at? Bam. Time to rock and roll. Well, okay, after I delete this. Let's delete this first. There. Okay, now it's time to rock and roll. Where did all of my example problems go? Bam. Let's do some homework. Let's go. And bam. Okay. Now, let's do another problem. I think, yep, this is the right brush. So, our next problem is going to be another parentheses problem. So I can show you how to distribute through the parentheses. So make sure, okay, I got some playbacks. I have my one viewer, possibly two viewers, who knows, maybe 300 viewers someday. That'd be hilarious. Pretty sure I'd make the news for doing people's homework. I don't know, can I get in trouble for it? No, we'll see. Let's see what happens. Okay, there. Here's my example problems. It's you guys. So, we have, that is nasty looking. I want my brush. Okay. Our problem is 8, 1 plus 9f equals negative 20. Now, just like the other problems, how you notice our parentheses, right? We must distribute through the parentheses. So this 8 is going to get passed off. It's going to get multiplied by the 1 and by the 9. Okay. Hey, if any of you that are watching, if you are watching, I need you to comment because it seems like my stream is really struggling at the moment. But 8 times 1 is 8, so let's rewrite this distributing through the parentheses. So it's 8 plus, what is 8 times 9? That is 72, and then the letter F, because they don't like to use regular letters in examples. Like regular letters to me when it comes to math problems is X and Y. Minus 20. Now what do we do? So remember, inverse operations, backwards day type of operations. So we will subtract 8 from this side, and to maintain our equality across the equal sign, we must subtract 8 from the other side. The 8's cancel out, and what do we get when we subtract negative 20 by negative 8? That ends up being a negative 28. More negative. Things are more negative. 72f equals, okay, so this is a weird one. This is definitely a weird one. Now, what's occurring between the 72 and the f? So 72 is being multiplied by the f, or the f is being multiplied by the 72. Tomato, tomato. How do we get rid of it? What's the inverse operation of multiplication? How do you go backwards from multiplying? You divide. So divide both sides by 72. Okay, so what happens when you divide 72 by 72? It turns into a 1. It disappears. Okay. What happens when you divide a negative 28 by 72? Well, it's 1 over 3. But, I mean, wait, is it? It's not. Hang on. Negative 28 divided by 72. That's 56. No, it's not. That's so weird. These example problems suck. That's okay. Hey Siri, what is negative 28 divided by 72?
The answer is about negative 0.38.
Oh my goodness. Negative, equals, well, do you know what? Let's just keep it into a fraction. We don't need to answer this in decimals. So how are we going to simplify? Make sure all of my math is right. Yeah, it is. It looks like it. Yeah, negative 20 minus 8. Yep, minus 28, 72. Good. Okay, so we're going to simplify negative 28 all over 72. First thing that I notice, like this is my cheating way of simplifying fractions. I just start to divide things by 2 if they're even numbers, right? So this is negative 14 over 36, and it's still even, so you divide by 2 again. This might not give you the right answer, by the way, but then 36 divided by 2 is 18, so 7 over 18. So our answer is 7 over 18. I mean, that'll work for most cases. I suppose if there might have been another fraction or another way to simplify this fraction where it wouldn't give you a bum answer, but that's our bum answer for today. And see if I can go all the way back. I can't. Well, we're going to get stuck with our little blue marks at the top there, giving it a little bit of character. So now let's go ahead. Oh, do you know what? I know. I'm going to share this to Patrick's Discord. That is going to be perfect. Patrick has a lot of younger people in his Discord. So let's pop on over to Patty's Discord. I'll do it in where is it? Here it is. Let's go. Let's go. It's party time. Oh, this Discord isn't loading. That's okay. All right. Okay, back to the examples. Let's get moving on this stuff. Okay. Oh, I don't have my YouTube page up, though. That might be funny. If I end up getting a bunch of people in here and I'm not watching you guys, holy moly, we'd have big problems then. Did I lose my example sheet again, too? Sheesh. Okay. No. Yep, totally lost it. Downloading it again for I don't even know how many times. Okay. So. Okay, so here we go. Now let's move on. Do you know what? I think all of these are going to give us fraction answers. I think I have the wrong example sheet, but that's okay. We can work with fractions. Everybody hates fractions, so. Negative 16, gross. Negative 16, that'll work. Equals 7, 6v, this is a parentheses, 6v plus 5. All right. Now, I see what my problem is now. All right. So negative 16 equals 7, parentheses 6v plus 5. Yet again, another parentheses problem, right? So how do you solve something with parentheses? You have to distribute through the parentheses. So let's distribute through our parentheses. So the 7 is going to get passed around and used by the 6v and the 5. So what is 7 times 6v? What is 7 times 6, right? So that would be 42, right? Because 7 times 5 is 35, plus 7 is 42. So negative 16 equals 42 plus 5. Oh, 42v. Don't forget your variables. You don't ever want to lose your variables. Okay. So now I have 42v plus 5. Inverse operations. How do we do that? How do we deal with an inverse operation? Or what is it? It's backwards day. Think backwards day at school, right? Backwards day anywhere. It is the opposite. So you subtract 5, and you have to do it to both sides. Subtract 5 from both sides because that maintains its equality, right? That's how things stay cool in your equations. This equal sign is incredibly important. Very, very, very important. And you have to maintain it. It's your job doing your homework to maintain the equal sign. But what happens? We have a positive 5 and a minus 5. Those cancel out. Negative 16 or a minus, negative 16 minus 5. So you're getting more negative. You're moving further negative. What happens there? So negative 16 minus 5, that is a negative 21. And that equals 42v. All right, not too bad, right? This is looking pretty fancy. So 42v, what's happening between your coefficient and your variable? That would be multiplication. What's the opposite of multiplication? It's opposite day, right? So you divide both sides by 42. What do you get? Well, your 42 gets canceled out. It goes away into a 1. Negative 21 over 42, that is 1 over 2, and that equals v. Because of the equality in this, we can write it this way too. You can flip these back and forth. Don't stress about that. So v equals 1/2. If we really felt like doing a check step, we could take that v equals 1/2, plug it back into our initial equation, and just run the whole thing, right? But we don't want to do a check step. I mean, if you guys want me to do a check step, I'll do a check step, but nobody likes doing check steps. Okay, let's do a nice problem here. And I don't know, I don't think I put it in the description, but if you actually have some math homework, like you can email it to me if you don't want to comment it, but commenting it would be great. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please be sure to do that. Let's help people all over the place. If I'm doing your homework, I'm still so interested if I can get into trouble for doing people's homework, right? Like, I mean, people do it all the time. People help each other out. People cheat on their homework. You have work groups, right? In college, they encourage everybody to work in groups. But what if I just stream doing your homework? I feel like it's a loophole. And not even a loophole. It's just like an atomic bomb going off on a live stream, I think. I mean, there's a lot of potential for it. 'Cause then why not? Like, why not? I suppose there's some ethical problems involved. But let's just see how it goes. And, I need to brush up on my calculus. I need to brush up on my differential equations. It's been a little while. I've taught GED for the last 3 years, so I'm really good at all of the algebra, but my calculus and differential equations, not so hot. So our next problem is going to be, I want to change my brush. Let's go into this. I want it to actually look like chalk on my chalkboard. So our next problem will be negative 16 equals 4c. Let's make that c actually look like a c. There we go. It's 4c. That still looks exactly the same, but I'm rolling with it. Plus 6c. Okay, you have like terms again. Like terms, you combine like terms. So 4c plus 6c. Add them together. What do you get? You get 10c. So 10c equals negative 16. Okay? Yeah, this is going to be a fraction, but I don't care. So divide both sides by 10. Why? Because inverse operations. That's what you do. It's just how you do it. Okay? Now, divide that, divide that. You get c equals negative 16 over 10. How do we work with this? So, first off, it's an improper fraction. So, c equals 1 and so negative 1 and 6/10. Okay, but that's still not simplified in its entirety. So c equals negative 1, and that is 3/5. There. That looks okay, kind of. I have some stuff on my... Do I have stuff on my screen, or do I have dead pixels? Pretty sure I have dead pixels. Well, that sucks. Okay. Let's move on to our next problem. Our next one will be a negative... Oh, no. Here. We'll do a crazy-looking one. So we have 5... I keep doing that. We have 5 parentheses 4y minus 3, and that equals negative 5. Oh, negative 15 minus 9y. There we go. So, now, just like our other problems, what do? How do we handle our parentheses? We distribute our parentheses, or distribute through our parentheses. So the 5 is now the popular one. It's going to go hang out with your 4y and your 3. So it's 5 times 4y, and that equals 20y minus, so 5 times 3, so 5 times 3, that is 15, equals negative 15 minus 9y. All right? Oh, still no chats, nobody. Oh, I mean, I think I have one person watching, and that might actually be me, but that's okay, because I'm having fun with this. This is a blast, actually. Just the idea of somebody coming in here and asking me a problem from their homework is hilarious. If it ever actually happens, I will do it. I will do it with glee and with excitement. Okay, so, okay, check it out. We have variables on both sides of the equation. We have a 20y on one side, and we have a negative 9y on the other. I personally want to get rid of, well, you can do it either way you want, but I want to get rid of the negative 9y. I don't like coefficients with negativity, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to add 9y to both sides. I'm starting off with the variable because variables kind of can suck if you don't. I mean, you basically you don't have to, but it's just best recommendation. Think of it like your teacher's telling you need to do something, right? Okay, so 20y plus 9y, that equals 29y minus 15 equals, okay, minus 15. And then what happened here? What happened to our 9y's? They cancel out. They're gone. All right. Now, what we're going to do, I'm going to delete this. We're just going to keep rolling with this down because this is a little bit longer of a problem. We are going to plug this back up here. Looks like we're pretty good to go. Bam. So we have 29y minus 15 equals negative 15. So what do we do next? We add 15. Inverse operations. I don't need to put that, so then we add 15. Uh-oh. Hey, check it out. We have some issues that's about to pop off here. What happens? Minus 15 plus 15 goes to 0. Okay? What happens here? Negative 15 plus 15, that also goes to 0. And so what we have is 29y equals 0. Okay. You know, kind of comfortable still, right? This is where people are going to start to freak out a little bit, though. You divide both sides by 29. So y equals, what is 0 divided by 29? What is it? What's 0 divided by anything other than 0? You can't divide by 0. You can divide 0, but you can't divide by 0. So that is 0. Nice and easy, plain and simple. 0 divided by anything equals 0. Let's move on to another example problem. I have a whole list. Until I get somebody in here that asks me a math problem, I think I'm going to keep doing this for a while. A few hours at least. You know, I might take a break here and there, but why not? This is kind of fun, and it's funny. Let's keep going. I don't think I haven't done this one yet. So, negative. I better give myself a little bit more room, and I'm going to make my brush size. I can't make it smaller, so we're stuck. Actually, I can. I just have to change it. Let's go with boop, boop, boop. Negative 21. I did not make it any smaller at all, though. Let's go with negative 21 minus 7n equals 4 parentheses 9n plus 5. Okay. Same business, right? Very, very similar type of problem to what we've been working on. What you do is you distribute through the parentheses. So that 4 is now the thing that gets passed around. You multiply through the parentheses. Look at that. I have my one viewer. It's either me or it's Tony. I'm not sure which one. But it is. So how do we, when we multiply through the parentheses, what do we do? I've already worked this through. If you guys haven't watched it, I mean, I'm going to do it anyways, but let's do it together. So 4 times 9. What is 4 times 9? That is 36, and then n plus, what's 4 times 5? That's 20. And that equals negative 7n, and this minus this negative 1. Boom. We have we're not done yet though. We're not close to being done yet. Okay. What's the next step? The next step that I would look at doing is consolidating or bringing together my variables. I don't want variables on both sides of the equation. Okay? So, how do we do that? Inverse operations. Let's take this negative coefficient, right? This negative variable, and bring it over to the other side so we don't have this negative 7n or this minus 7n. What's the opposite of minus 7n? It is plus 7n. So we're going to add 7n to both sides. Boom. All right. Oh, let's just see. So that cancels out to 0. We get a negative 21 equals 36n plus 7n. What is that? That is 43. A 43n plus 20. Okay. It's looking okay. It's going to be a gross fraction, a super gross fraction. I can tell you that right now. So we're going to subtract 20 from both sides. This cancels out. Negative 21 minus 20. That is a negative 41, and that equals 43n. And our end result, okay, hang on, I don't want to skip a step here. So you divide both sides by 43, because that's the opposite of multiplication. 43. Negative 41 divided by 43. Can't simplify it. Just not going to happen. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see it. There's 3 difference. Nope, it's 11 away from 30. That is a simplified fraction. So our answer is n equals negative 41 over 43. So it's not too bad. Could be worse. Always circle your answers, ladies and gentlemen. Teachers love that. That's a little trick to help get on their good side. Don't leave it in an overly populated piece of mumbo jumbo like what I have here without circling your answers, okay? Teachers dig it. Let's go on to some more problems. Let's clean this up just a tiny, tiny bit. I want it off of there. Okay, good. That looks okay to me. Now for our next problem. Which one should we do? Which one should we do? I've done that one. I haven't done this one. So let's do this one. We have a lot of different problems that we can do. So 3 plus 8 parentheses 1 minus 5s and parentheses equals 32. Okay. So, parentheses, they're your best friend when it comes to math, right? They like to keep things organized. They group things together. They're very, very useful anywhere in math. Parentheses are your best buddies, okay? Highly, highly recommend if you type things into your calculator, it's okay to kind of abuse parentheses. Use them all over the place. You'll get an error if you mess up. Ooh, excuse me. Okay. So we're going to distribute through the parentheses yet again. So 8 is being distributed through... Ooh, I'm allergic to math, I guess. 8 is being distributed through the parentheses. So what does that mean? It means you're passing the 8 around like it's a good friend. Like it's a good friend. So, what is 8 times 1? You know that? Yeah. I know you know that. 8 times 1 is 8. What's 8 times 5? Or a negative 5 minus 5. We'll put the minus sign there. That's 40s. Bring down our 3 plus, and that equals 32. So we have 3 plus 8 minus 4s equals 32. We're going to combine our like terms. So 3 plus 8 is 11 minus 4s, and that equals 32. Now, we're not getting rid of, some people, this is where people run into problems. They like to add 4s and bounce it over, which you could, theoretically, you could do that if you really felt like it, okay? No harm, no foul, I guess, but you're going to run into some other problems if you do it. It'll look weird, kinda. What I'm going to do is going to look weird too. But I'm going to take this. This is a positive 11. What's the opposite of a positive 11? It's a negative 11. So what you do is you subtract 11 from both sides. Go ahead and subtract 11 from both sides. What happens to this left side? The 11s cancel out. You have a positive 11 and a negative 11. Goes away to 0. The 0 is there, okay? But it goes away. 32 minus 11, what does that equal? It equals 21. So we have a minus 4s equals a 21. Negative 4, divide both sides by negative 4. Okay. Now we have a very improper fraction, so let's just go ahead. We'll write this as a proper fraction. Before I do that, your negative 4s cancel out on the left side, and it falls away to a 1. So s equals, so 21 divided by negative 4. How many times does 4 go into 21 in its entirety, in its whole? It goes in there 5 times, right? So it's 5 A -5. Don't forget your negative sign. Let's see how good that looks. It's been a little bit. Okay. We have a -5 and a 1/4. So s equals a -5 1/4, or as a decimal, 5 -0.25. There we go. We're good. That's good. Circle your answers. Do it always. It's nice. Even if you can't draw a good circle, teachers still like it. All right. Let's move on to another example problem. I think I have another file. And of course, if you have homework problems, by all means, submit them. Bring them on. I think it's just me and Tony in here, but that's okay. You know what? Maybe there's another person lurking around and I just can't see them on my end. It can take a couple of minutes for things to show up sometimes. Okay, where are my files? Let's go on to downloads. It's not in my downloads. Okay, we'll go back. We'll stop working with parentheses, I think. We'll do variables on both sides. That's what our next section is going to be. Close that add. Okay, that's all good. Oh, yes. I can make it so it's only x's in this next sheet of examples. So let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. Okay. Our next sheet of problems. We have our first equation, and it has variables on both sides. A lot of people really don't like working with that, but I don't mind it. Our first equation is a -6 minus 2x equals -4x plus 3x. X's. We have X's everywhere. I feel like there's a rap song like that. Okay, combine your like terms. Combine your like terms. So, -4x plus 3x, what is it? You have a -4x plus 3x. That is a -1x on this side. Okay. Now we have -6 minus 2x equals a -1x. Now what should you do? Add. We're going to add this. Do you know what? I think, yeah, I'm going to add to get rid of, to move our 2x. I want to move it to the right side. And you'll see why. Because when we add 2x to get rid of it, and we add 2x to this side, remember, I don't like negative coefficients. I don't like my first number to be negative on a variable. Not when I'm trying to solve for a variable, okay? So, we get a -6 equals, what is a -1x plus 2x? That is a positive x, or a positive 1x, but you don't even have to write it because you're done. That's the answer. -6 equals x. X equals -6. Bam. Circle it. We're good to go. We're good to go. We can hang out, but no, we're not done. I've been streaming now for 30 minutes. I don't know how many people have come in because nobody likes to say anything. However, I do appreciate you if you're here. If you're hanging out with me while I solve math problems on the internet. It sounds ridiculous, but I like it. Okay. I'm not doing that page at all, ever. I think that is not the one. My pages just keep steadily disappearing, like non-stop. I bring them up and then they go away. That's so weird. You know what I think is going to happen is I'm going to stumble upon a file in here, and there's going to be so many of these example sheets that I won't even know what to do with. Okay, close out of all of these things, because that's why I'm losing it. I have way too many windows open right now. Just a crazy, crazy, crazy number of windows. We don't want to deal with that. I think what I'll do, I'm just going to stop. Oh. Weird. Okay. I don't even need to download it. I'm done downloading the example sheets because they always get lost if I download them. Let's delete all of this. Boom. And now we can whip out our paintbrush again. Our next problem is going to look incredibly ugly. And I'm going to need this entire length of this top place. So, top part of our board, we have 2x plus 7 parentheses negative 3 x plus 4 end parentheses equals negative 5 open parentheses 2x minus 5 plus 6. Don't freak out, guys. If you get a problem like this, you just stay calm. None of it is difficult. None of it is difficult, okay? I'm just going to sit and enjoy this very long math problem for a second. Let's go. Let's get it. Okay. We're going to distribute through all of the parentheses. Bam. The 7 gets passed around to its buddies on the left side. The 8, or not the 8, there is no 8. The 5 gets passed around to its buddies on the right side. I'm doing both sides. We don't have to do them at once. I won't put you through that. But 2x plus 7 times a negative 3, that is a negative 21x plus 7 times 4. What's 7 times 4? That is 28. Equals, 28 equals negative 5 times 2. That is a negative 10x. Negative 5 times a negative 5. That is a positive 25 plus 6. Okay. Combine like terms on either side. We won't mess around with moving things around too much quite yet. Okay? So, let's go 2x plus a negative 21. That is a negative 19x plus 28 equals, we have a negative 10x plus 25. What's 25 plus 6? That is 31. This is this looks so gross. It looks intimidating, but it's not, right? It's not hard. So now we're at this step. We have variables on both sides of the problem. People don't like that. So how do we resolve this issue? Let's move. I want to move this 19 over. I want to move the 19 over, so we're going to add 19x to both sides. So go ahead and add 19x to both sides. And then, what happens to the 19x? It cancels out into a 0. We have a let me write this out. We'll get to this part here in a second. So we have a 28 equals, what is a negative 10x plus 19x? It's 9x plus 31. Okay? So 28 equals 9x plus 31. Let's subtract 31 from both sides. Why are we subtracting it? If you've been watching, or if you're watching this at a later date, it is what? Inverse operations, backwards day. So subtract 31 from both sides. Now, what happens to your 31? Disappears, goes away. Don't have to worry about it. Positive 31, subtracting a 31, goes to 0. Big 0, big 0. So, what do we have on the left side? What is 28 minus 31? That would be boop, boop, boop. a 3, a negative 3, equals 9x. Okay, that's not too bad. Do you see what you have to do now? Divide both sides by 9. What is a negative 3 divided by 9? What's another way of thinking of it? X equals a negative 1/3. We're done. That's our answer. I shouldn't write on the edges of my board. That's okay. That works. It works out okay. All right. Let's delete all of this. Boom. It's looking weird. It's looking like a confetti cake along the edges up there, right? Confetti cakes are good. Delete all of it. Hey, I have someone. It's a Russian. I don't know if anybody else can see it, but a Russian name has commented, and it's VOM red. Vom.red. That's what the comment is. I don't think it'll stick around after the stream, but who knows. So, let's continue. Let's persist. Let's move forward with more math problems. You know what I should do? Technically, I wonder, can I stream on both Twitch and YouTube? Because I think it'd be hilarious to actually get a Twitch or to get a stream like this to be popular. If it could be popular, that would make my day. I would get a kick out of it. Our next example problem is we have our negative 3 plus 3x, so negative 3x plus 3x equals negative 4. I have them on opposite sides of the screen. I have a 3-monitor setup, so I have my example problems over here, and then what I'm looking at over here. So it's like, whoo, okay. So we have negative 4, and then x minus 8, and parentheses. Okay, let's rock and roll. It should become automatic when you see parentheses. You need to distribute through them when you're solving an equation. So let's distribute through this parentheses. So we have a negative 4 being passed around to its friends. And then on the right side, we're going to write this right side out first. So negative 4 times x, there is that imaginary 1 there, an imaginary 1. So what is a negative 4 times the x? It is a negative 4x minus, but do you know what? Let's fix that minus. Let's get rid of it. Negative 4 times a negative 8. What's a negative 4 times a negative 8? That is a positive 40. No. Geez. 32. 32. Positive 32. Had a brain blast there, ladies and gentlemen. And everything in between. Negative 3x plus 3x. Cancels out. That's 0. Another way of thinking of 0. They're inverses of each other. Okay? Now, how do we handle this? Same as any other problem. Okay? So you have a negative 4x plus 32. How do you get rid of the plus 32? We're working our way from the outer parts of the variable to the inner parts. We want to isolate the variable. We want the variable by itself. So subtract 32 from both sides. That's the opposite of adding. Subtract 32 from both sides. And that cancels out. What is 0 minus 32? We have a negative 32 equals negative 4x. What is a negative 32 divided by a negative 4? Well, so here, let me explain that. Why? What's the opposite of multiplication? This is multiplying. Negative 4 is being multiplied with your x. The inverse of that is to divide by a negative 4. To both sides. So a negative 32 divided by a negative 4 cancels out or reduces down to an 8. It's a positive 8. And that equals x. So x equals a positive 8. Let's go ahead and circle our answer, and we are good. We are done. We're done with this problem. All right. Got to stay strong. Got to keep going. All right. I'm just going to keep doing math problems for a while. I don't know. I have no clue how long I'll do math problems for tonight. As long as someone is still here. And do you know what? Probably even if they're not here, I'll still keep doing math problems. I love math. Okay. So our next example problem is, and the reason why I'm doing example problems is because none of you beautiful people are here. The people in the future that are watching this, you're not watching my stream while I'm doing it right now. If you were, I'd probably know, which that's okay. That's kind of cool because somebody in the future will watch this and they will think I'm a weird person. But that is also okay because I am a weird person and I love math. I get excited about it. I get excited about helping people with math. Our next problem is we have a let's go with this one. So negative 9 minus 3x plus 7 minus 5 equals 5x plus 4. There. Very first step you should always do, always combine your like terms. Okay? Just have that burned into your memory. Always combine like terms. So, negative 9 minus 3x plus 7 minus 5. What are the like terms there? There's a whole bunch of integers. Let's just deal with this part right here first. So positive 7 minus 5, that is a positive 2. Negative 3x plus 2. And then we have this minus 9 here. Let's just kind of toss it. We're just tossing it. We're still on the same side of the equal sign, so we don't have to do anything weird. Okay, so now we have a positive 2 and a minus 9. What is 2 minus 9? It is a negative 7. Okay, so you have a negative 3x minus 7. Let's make that a little bit neater. There we go. That equals 5x plus 4. I'm just staring right in the camera. I'm just using my peripheral vision to solve this problem. Okay, so then what you want to do is you want to use inverse operations. No, let's not. Let's move our variables over. Which one should we get rid of? Let's move this one, this minus 3x, because we hate negative signs on our coefficients for variables. Let's move that over. Oh, I can't keep eye contact with that one. So we add 3x. It's the opposite of subtracting 3x. It's the inverse operation of this, right? So we do that to both sides to maintain equality. And we have the minus 3x and plus 3x cancels out into 0. And let's drop everything down. We're bringing all of this business down. Okay, you'll see. So we have a negative 7 equals, what is what's a 5x plus 3x? It's 8x plus 4. Okay. Let's get rid of the 4, the inverse operation of the 4. Do that to both sides. This cancels out into a 0. What we're left with, and just for the sake of some level of neatness, I'll put it up here, and I'm switching these two things around. This is going over there, this is going over here. So we have 8x equals, what is negative 7 minus 4? That is a negative 11. Oof duh. We have a fraction. we have a fraction. Divide both sides by 8. You have 8 divided by 8 drops down into a 1. X equals negative 11 divided by 8. Boom. But we're not really done. Let's make it into at least a decent fraction, unless I added wrong. It's always possible. People make mistakes, even me, when it comes to math. So that looks good. That looks good. That does not look good. I messed it. No, that does look good. That looks fine. Yeah. I'm weird. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. I'm double checking all of my math. You should do that too. Okay. X equals, so how many times does 8 go into a negative 11? It goes in there one time with, don't forget your negative sign. Negative 1 with how many left over? Count up to 11. 3 over 8, and we're done. At least I think we're done. Somebody, if I got this wrong, somebody will find it, and they'll comment down below at some time in the future. This is a blast. I don't care. Nobody is watching my stream. I have proof. Yeah. Literally. I don't have anybody. Is it because I don't have music? Probably not. But let's go ahead. Let's just play some random music here. I have some downloads. Where's my inspirational music? There. It's not really that inspirational. That's what YouTube calls inspirational music, though. So just in case if you're wondering about the creative taste of YouTube, the corporation, they call this inspirational music. So let's go on. Let's close that out. Our next example problem will be, here we go. We have 6 and 2 minus 5x equals negative 2 9x plus 3. All right. So negative 2, look at all these parentheses. Beautiful, beautiful, lovely parentheses. Everybody loves them. So you distribute through your parentheses. I'm going to start using pink because all of the other colors are already up there. Distribute through your parentheses. So negative 2, okay, let's write this one out too. Don't want to skip too much. So, dog's barking, sorry. Okay, so 6 distributed through this parentheses, we have 12. 6 times 2 is 12. Minus 6 times 5 is 30x equals negative 2 times 9. That is negative 18x plus, well, back it up, negative 2 times 3, that is a minus 6. Okay, negative 2 times 3, minus 6. Now, let's move one of our variables over, left or right. Some people will always do things from left to right, but it's not always the most beneficial. But in this case, we are going to do left to right. You can do whatever way you want, whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? So how do we move a minus 30x over? Inverse operations. That is your key, that is your trick to all of this. It's always inverse operations. Solving any equation is inverse operations. So we have now added 30x to one side. What do we do to the other side? Remember, we have our equal sign there, so we must maintain equality. We're going to add 30x to both sides. Okay? That's maintaining equality. Whatever happens to one side must happen to your other side. If you are a new viewer, if anybody in here is watching this, I want you to like the video and subscribe. It would be awesome, okay? I would greatly, greatly appreciate all of it, right? And I appreciate you, whoever you are. Some lone stranger out in the ether of the universe is watching this stream, other than my good friend Tony, who is planting his butt on my stream just so I don't have 0 viewers, which I greatly appreciate, Tony, if you're listening. You're my buddy. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to get rid of that. Minus 30 plus 30 goes down to 0. Let's rewrite this left side. So we have 12 equals there. That's the left side. That's it. Negative 18x plus 30x. What is a negative 18 plus 30? That is 12x minus 6. So negative 18 plus 30. I did it in my head. Just count up. Okay. Now, how do we get rid of this plus 6? Or minus 6? I just said the answer. You plus 6. Do plus 6 to both sides. So we get 18 equals 12x. How do we get rid of the 12? 12 is being multiplied by the x. So we divide both sides by 12 because that's the opposite of multiplication. So 18 divided by 12, what is it? So x, so this cancels out. So we get x equals, it's 18 over 12, but that is an improper fraction. So how many times does 12 go into 18? 12 goes into 18 one time with 6 left over. So x equals 1 and is 6 over 12. Do you think we're done? Do you think we're done? We're not done. We have to simplify that fraction. We must simplify that fraction. That is not done yet. You'll get this wrong if you don't simplify it. So x equals 1. And what is 6 divided by 12? What is another way of thinking of 6 over 12? It's a half a dozen. What did you say there? You said a half. So it's 1 over 2. That is your answer. Circle it. Call it done. Okay? All right. Whew, that's a lot of math. I've been streaming math now for, I've been doing basically non-stop math problems for an hour. That's nuts. It's fun though. It's a lot of fun. Math is fun. You guys want to go on to another problem? You're not actually here right now if you're watching this. Most likely you're not. But if you are there, if there's some random human being on the other side of the ether that wants some help with their homework, or just one of my friends, go ahead, hit that comment button, say hello. You have to subscribe to me for 1 minute though. Hey, wait, the Russian commented, but I thought I had the where you had to subscribe to comment, but I guess I don't. That's okay. Let's move on to another example. We must persist. We must move forward. We must do more math. Let's delete all of this. Yep, doing math on a Friday night. It's all right. Do 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 do. Phenomena. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Okay, so our next problem will be, here we go. I have to look over here, so negative 2 minus 5x equals negative 4 plus 5 parentheses. Let's get that a little bit of space there. So plus 5 parentheses 2 plus 5x. Done. This is our next example problem. And someday soon, you will be here watching my stream. And we'll do homework together. Let's distribute that 5. Distribute the 5. I don't know. I haven't set up a schedule for doing this, but I probably should, right? Maybe every Friday at 3:30 Central Time, I will do a live stream of doing people's homework. I mean, kids start to get off school at 3:30. They can just pop on their phones and watch. I think I'm starting to already lose my voice from talking nonstop for an hour. It's been a while since I've taught in a classroom, and so my vocal cords aren't used to the strain. Okay, so distribute through the parentheses. You want to always distribute through the parentheses when you're solving equations like this. It makes your life a whole lot easier. Just don't worry about it, okay? Just don't think about any of the other stuff you see on the screen. The only thing that's going through my mind right now is I have to distribute through the parentheses. That's it. Nothing else. Total peace and tranquility other than I must distribute through parentheses. So let's do that. So what is 5 times 2? 5 times 2 is 10. Plus, this is where that plus came from. So 5 times 5x. What is 5 times 5x? That is 25x. Let's write everything else out. Drop it all down. I'm writing it backwards. I'm sorry if that bothers you. But now we can read it from left to right, like normal people. Well, no, sorry, bad statement. There are many good people that read right to left. There are many good people that read right to left. I know a few, and it's different languages. People will read right to left. So actually, the language, the people that invented algebra read right to left. Just pointing that out for anybody that watches this at any point in time and is just like, hey, that's a bad joke. But it's true. I mean, it's true that they invented algebra, so it's good. I'm very happy with them. Okay. That's awkward now. Okay, so let's move on. It's a good, I did not mean that. That's just bad. That's just a bad thing to say. That's a horrible thing to say. Algebra is one of my favorite topics, though. I know a lot of the history of algebra. We could get into Archimedes triangles. We can get into Lagrange multipliers. We can get into solving systems by elimination. We can someday, soon, I would love to get back into differential equations. But to those of you that this video applies to, the word differential equations terrifies you. It's not too terrifying. It's a lot of fun. Pretty cool. That's where math is, everywhere around you. Okay, let's get back onto the topic of math. We have this like terms. Like terms. Combine your like terms. We want to combine these like terms. So we have a minus 4 and a plus 10. What does that equal? It equals a 6. So 6 plus 25x equals minus 5x and the minus 2. Let's keep our variable positive. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 5x to both sides. Add 5x to both sides. What happens to your 5x on the left? It cancels out. Let's start writing our problem down, dropping everything down that we can. So we have a negative 2 equaling, let's bring this over here. So we have a negative 2 equaling 6 plus 25x plus 5x is 30x. Not too bad. Not too bad. So we're trying to isolate that variable still. Always want to isolate the variable. So how do we do that? We want to get rid of this 6 plus. We want to get rid of that extra gunk around your variable. So subtract 6 from both sides. Okay? What we are left with, this cancels out. This goes into a negative 8. Negative 2, I'll even put it up here, negative 2 minus 6, that equals 8. And that's what we just did, but in our heads. Okay? So a negative 8 equals 30x. Now we must divide both sides by 30. Let's go ahead and divide both sides by 30. And we get negative 8 over 30 equals x. Cancel that side out. The 30 goes away. So x equals negative 8 over 30. And let's just simplify this a little bit. Let's go with, it is x equals negative 4 over 15. That is our end answer. Boom. We are done. So, let's see. It's been a little bit, I feel like I should keep streaming this though. I'm staying persistent. Uh-oh. My little niece is crying. I kind of feel bad that this is going on my stream right now. She just got probably attacked by either a cat or a dog. Okay. Okay, let's keep going. Let's do one more. We'll do one more math problem. I mean, I've had one person like my video, so that's cool. Other than me, I liked my own video. I think the other person might have been Tony. If you're Tony, say what's up. But if you're not Tony, you can stay silent too. Totally fine. You know what? Let's just keep going. Stay persistent, stay strong. Okay. We have a negative 5x plus 3 parentheses 4 minus 4x equals 4x minus 3x. Did we do this one already? I don't think we did. We might have. We might have. I've just hammered out so many problems. And not in one of them was somebody's homework. Okay. So, what's the first step? Usually it's this side, right? Yeah, let's just stick to that. No. Let's do 2 things at once. We're doing 2 things at once. I can't stand it. We are going to do this side first. So 4x minus 3x. That is a x alone. And then we will distribute the 3 through the parentheses. What happens? You have 3 times 4 and 3 times 4x. So let's just start writing everything out. You have a minus 5x plus 12. Let's write that 2 a little bit neater. 3 times 4 is 12 minus 12x. Okay? Then, check it out. We have a minus 12x. Let's move things around so our like terms are right next to each other. It makes it a little bit nicer to do this. So 5x minus 12x plus 12 equals x. Minus 5x minus 12x, it's more negative, right? So I'm minusing 12x. So I'm making it more negative. That gives us a negative 17x plus 12 equals x. You know this x is going to cause problems sooner or later. We need to get rid of that x. We need to move it around. Oops, I hit the microphone. We need to move it. Let's just do that now. Let's move the x. So, what's the opposite of a positive x? A negative x. We do that to both sides. So, you get negative 17x minus x. That is a negative 18x plus 12 equals 0. Okay. Now it's looking like an okay problem. How do we get rid of this plus 12? We subtract 12. And we do that from both sides. What we end up with, let's put a little barrier up. Let's just kind of go like boop, 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 boop. Okay. That's okay for now. I will delete that. So we have... my brain just literally, I think I've done too much math. There is an upper limit to how much math you can do. Okay. We have a negative 12 we have x equals negative 12 over negative 18. That's our fraction that we're ending with. So, what is a negative divided by a negative? That's the first question I want to ask you. They cancel each other out. The two negatives cancel each other out. Okay? Then, we have x equals 12 over 18. What number can go into both 12 and 18? There's a least common denominator. You might have heard that term before. There is a number that can go into both 12 and 18. You got it? No. Is there a number? No. No. Yeah. There is. Of course there is. Okay. Oh, okay. So we have 12 over 18. So we have x equals 12 over 18. What can go into there? That's 3. 3 goes into there. 3 goes into this top one. What? How many times? 4, 8, 12. All right, 3, 6, 9, 12. It goes in there 4 times. Oh, it's actually a bigger number than that. What the heck? It's 4, right? 4, 8, 12, 16. No, it's not 4. 6. 6 goes into them. There we go. I've done one too many math problems. It's been an hour blast of math. 6 is the number. Is our least common denominator, our least common number here between us. Not least common denominator. Holy moly, ladies and gentlemen. I am calling it a night after this one. So, 12 divided by 6 is 2. 18 divided by 6 is 3. This is your answer. Always circle your answers. It will help out your teachers. They will not hate you if you circle your answers. It doesn't matter what else. If your sheet looks like this, they'll be okay if you put that circle around your answer. They'll be much happier with life if you just put any type of circle or object around your answer. All right. Well, it's been what now? Almost an hour and 20 minutes. I don't know if you can hear, but my voice is almost gone. Which, that's fun. It's been a very long time since I've went through this much math. I love helping people with math. If you're watching this at a later date, make sure, like, comment, subscribe. Let's put this information out there. Let's have fun with this. I would love to do this again. We'll do it this next week, Friday. I'll have my other live classes, my live math classes, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. But I'll do your homework live stream at 3:30 Central Time. 3:30 Central Time. Cat. Which technically I should just keep going, but my voice is toast. So let's have one last hurrah for Tutor You, and for me, and for you. You can do it, whatever math you are working on. I believe in you, and I hope you have a good night.